Nestled at the center of Europe lies Switzerland, a country small in size, yet immense in its natural splendor. As morning fog lifts from a quiet alpine valley, the distant toll of cowbells reaches across green pastures. A local farmer, waking with the sun, guides his herd down the dew-covered slope. The smell of freshly cut grass mingles with the crisp scent of melting snow. Here, time is measured not by clocks, but by the rhythm of seasons, the first growth of spring, the heat of summer, the harvest of autumn, and the stillness of winter. Observing the farmer's steady routine, one sees the delicate balance humans maintain with nature. The survival of livestock, the preparation of winter fodder, and the preservation of ancestral knowledge all hinge on understanding the land intimately. Yet, beneath this serene beauty lies constant challenge. A sudden rainstorm can flood pastures or damage crops. A harsh winter threatens both animals and humans alike. These valleys are arenas of quiet struggle, where families live in rhythm with the mountains and rivers, mastering a coexistence that is at once fragile and enduring. Switzerland is not merely a place of scenic splendor. It is a land of human stories intertwined with geological time, where each village, each farm, and each trail carries the memory of countless generations negotiating life with ice, stone, and sky. Walking along a narrow trail, one can hear the subtle hum of life, the rustle of pine needles underfoot, the distant call of a red fox, the wind whispering across a cliff face. Experiencing Switzerland in this way, the sights, the sounds, and the smells immerses visitors in the ongoing dialogue between humans and the natural world. It is a conversation that has lasted millennia and continues to shape every facet of life in the heart of Europe. To understand Switzerland today, one must peer into its deep past. The country's identity has been shaped as much by its geography as by human endeavor. Long before national borders existed, Celtic tribes, most notably the Helvetii, wandered these valleys. Leaving behind settlements, dry stone walls, and fortifications. These remnants, still standing amidst alpine meadows, speak to human resilience and ingenuity. Standing beside one of these ancient walls, a modern guide explains how early peoples rid the landscape. Anticipating avalanches, snowmelt, and seasonal shifts that could make or break survival. Listening to their stories, visitors can almost hear the echoes of lives lived in harmony and, at times, in struggle with the mountains. When Rome extended northward, these valleys became conduits for trade, military campaigns, and cultural exchange. Stone bridges, road remnants, and fortified outposts remain as reminders of human adaptation, as well as the constant tension between opportunity and danger. Travelers navigating these same passes today can feel the weight of history beneath each footstep. Imagining the hardships of soldiers and merchants negotiating treacherous terrain, harsh weather, and the ever-present threat of bandits or avalanche. The emergence of the Swiss Confederation in 1291 was born out of necessity. 3 cantons forged a defensive alliance to resist foreign domination. This was not the birth of modern Switzerland, but it set a precedent for resilience and self-reliance. Over centuries, the Confederation expanded, with each canton preserving local traditions while uniting against external threats. This delicate balance between autonomy and cooperation became the foundation of Switzerland's famed neutrality. Today, one can observe small villages still nestled in steep valleys, where life clings to the mountainside, as it did hundreds of years ago. A living testament to enduring adaptation. However, history is not without its conflicts. Territorial disputes, struggles for resources, and occasional famine shaped both the people and the landscape. Farmers relied on ingenuity to cultivate terraces on steep slopes, while forest communities developed complex systems to prevent landslides and maintain timber supply. Even now, modern challenges echo the past. Climate change accelerates glacier melt, threatening river flows that have sustained villages for centuries. Tourism pressures sometimes collide with local traditions and environmental stewardship. Walking through a village square, one senses the continuity of human presence. The aroma of baking bread, the clang of iron tools in a workshop, and the laughter of children playing in cobblestone streets all bring history to life. These sensory experiences connect past and present, allowing one to witness not only what has survived, but also how the Swiss people continue to navigate the balance between preserving tradition and embracing change. In essence, Switzerland's history is inseparable from its people. It is a story of adaptation, cooperation, and resilience, a narrative written into both stone and snow, in river valleys and alpine passes, and in the enduring rhythms of daily life. The lessons of the past echo in every village and farm, reminding us that survival here has always required harmony with the natural world, foresight, and an understanding of forces far larger than oneself. Nestled between the icy ridges of the Alps and the quieter Jura Mountains, Switzerland is a mosaic of habitats that support an astonishing diversity of wildlife. Here, nature is both a sculptor and a teacher, shaping life through the harsh rhythms of seasons and the subtle artistry of ecological relationships. From soaring peaks to hidden valleys, thick forests, rushing rivers, and still wetlands, each ecosystem is a stage where species play out dramas of survival, adaptation, and coexistence. As spring arrives, the Alps awaken from months of icy stillness. The high-altitude wildlife begins a new cycle of survival. Snowmelt feeds burbling streams. Waterfalls crash down cliffs. Animals emerge from months of dormancy seeking sustenance. Marmots cautiously leave their burrows, sniffing the fresh scent of new grass, hopping over damp rocks, and foraging for shoots and hidden insects. Dormice stir from their winter sleep, weaving through tall grasses in search of seeds, alert to the slightest sign of danger. Alpine ibexes, with their sure-footed grace, scale steep rocky slopes to graze on tender mountain grass, soaking in sunlight to warm stiff joints while conserving energy. Red deer quietly descend to the valleys, nibbling on tender shoots and early foliage, moving deliberately to preserve strength in the lingering chill. Predators also spring into action. Red foxes, with ears attuned to the faintest rustle beneath snow, execute precise pounces to catch unsuspecting rodents. Lynx slip silently through pine forests, eyes bright stalking prey with perfect patience. Wolves, coordinating in small packs, track herds of deer and smaller mammals assessing wind direction, terrain, and movement before striking. Every hunting maneuver is a careful calculation. Energy spent must be worth the reward, especially after the long, lean winter months. Even the smallest creatures play their part. Dippers plunge into icy streams to hunt insect larvae beneath rocks, combining expert swimming and diving with precision timing. Hawks and eagles soar above, scanning the valleys for movement, swooping with remarkable accuracy. Lizards, like wall lizards and emerald lizards, emerge on sun-warmed rocks, reactivating their metabolisms and snapping up insects with quick practice strikes. Life in the Alps moves to a finely tuned rhythm. Every leap of prey is met with a calculated response from predators. Streams, melting snow, slippery rocks, and sunlight all influence the success of the hunt. Survival here is not just about finding food. It is about mastering the environment, using light, temperature, terrain, and scent to thrive. Spring brings abundance. Herbivores return to grazing. Insects multiply. Fledgling birds take their first flights, energizing the food chain. Every action from collecting seeds, foraging and grazing, to hunting and coordinated pack behaviors reflects millennia of refinement, a testament to resilience and ingenuity. The Alps are not merely a backdrop, they are a partner, a challenge, and a guarantee of the delicate, interconnected web of life. Where each step, each leap, and every bird call contributes to the living symphony of the mountains. Moving down from the harsh Alpine heights, Switzerland's forests tell a different yet equally intricate story. Covering roughly a third of the country, these wooded expanses are carefully protected, serving as sanctuaries for countless species. Among the most remarkable ecological partnerships is that between the spotted nutcracker and the Swiss stone pine. Each autumn, the nutcracker collects and hides up to 100,000 pine seeds, a behavior that not only stores food, but also ensures forest regeneration. Forgotten seeds germinate in high-altitude zones, where wind and gravity alone could never disperse them, demonstrating the essential role of a single bird in shaping entire landscapes. Within these forests, mammals like the chamois and roe deer move stealthily. While the occasional wild boar roots through leaf litter, turning the forest floor into a dynamic mosaic. Owls, woodpeckers, and songbirds provide acoustic textures from the soft hoot of the tawny owl at dusk to the rhythmic drumming of the black woodpecker. Every call, every movement echoes through these valleys, contributing to a complex and interdependent web of life. Above and between forested valleys, alpine meadows and rocky outcrops form microcosms teeming with life. Flowers bloom with precise timing, attracting bees, butterflies, and beetles that ensure reproduction. Lizards bask on sun-warmed rocks, regulating their body temperature while avoiding predators. Snowmelt transforms the landscape, swelling streams into cascading torrents, reshaping rocks and valleys, and creating nutrient-rich meadows. Predatory birds, such as golden eagles and peregrine falcons, soar on thermal currents, scanning for movement below. Even insects like alpine beetles or grasshoppers play vital roles in nutrient cycling and pollination. Every action feeding, hunting, nesting demonstrates a millennia-long refinement of survival strategies. Human influence is subtle but significant. Farmers maintain traditional grazing practices, preventing overgrowth and sustaining biodiversity. Beekeepers support both agricultural production and pollinator health. Conservationists restore wetlands and forests, illustrating that careful stewardship can maintain ecological balance without displacing human activity. Visitors walking through these meadows can feel the warmth of sunlight, hear the hum of bees, see the flash of a lizard's tail, and understand the interdependence of life at every scale. Switzerland exemplifies how humans and wildlife can coexist in harmony. Shepherds adapt livestock practices to mitigate predator threats. Forest rangers monitor species recovery. Communities celebrate seasonal festivals. And markets that honor agricultural cycles and wildlife awareness. Climate change, however, test this balance. Accelerated glacier melt threatens alpine flora and fauna, shifts seasonal cycles, and demands innovation from local communities. Farmers adjust planting schedules. Conservationists restore ecosystems. Architects design infrastructure that respects natural forces. Each adaptation reinforces a broader principle: survival is a dialogue. A collaboration between human ingenuity and natural processes. Ultimately, life in the Alps is a living classroom. One can hear, see, and feel the delicate interplay of species and environment. Every creature from marmot to eagle participates in a vast, interconnected system. Humans are not mere observers. They are integral actors, their choices shaping the very ecosystems that sustain them. The Alps teach patience, observation, and respect, lessons that resonate far beyond the mountains themselves. Switzerland, often called the water castle of Europe, owes much of its identity to its rivers and lakes, the lifeblood of a landscape sculpted over millennia. To truly appreciate these waterways, one must leave behind maps and guidebooks and immerse in the textures of water, the icy chill of a glacial stream, the gentle ripple of a lake under morning sunlight, the soft gurgle of a hidden brook winding through a mossy forest floor. Water here is alive, moving, shaping, and teaching the intricate balance between natural forces and human life. Many of Switzerland's lakes owe their existence to ancient glaciers. As ice sheets advanced and retreated over millennia, they gouged deep basins, leaving hollows that would fill with meltwater. Lake Brienz, with its turquoise brilliance, mirrors the glaciers feeding it, reflecting the high peaks that encircle its shores. Standing on its bank, one can feel the cold breeze rolling off the water, carrying a faint mineral tang. Small fishing boats rock gently, and the low hum of bees among lakeside wildflowers punctuates the stillness. A lake like Lake Thun tells another story of centuries of human presence. Medieval castles perch on its shores, vineyards climb steep hillsides, and small towns hum with quiet activity. The waters reflect not just the sky, but human adaptation to the landscape. Fishermen navigate the lakes in wooden boats, balancing tradition with the modern challenges of tourism and climate change. They notice shifts in fish populations caused by warmer water temperatures, a subtle reminder that even the most serene settings are affected by global forces. Nestled within a protected natural park, Blausee's still surface reflects surrounding forests perfectly, creating a mirror of time suspended. Smaller alpine gems, like Blausee, known as the Blue Lake, captivate visitors with their intense emerald hues. A park ranger walks slowly along its edge, pointing out trout beneath the surface, explaining the delicate balance of minerals, temperature, and aquatic vegetation that sustains life. Visitors are encouraged to tread lightly, learning that human footsteps, even gentle ones, can ripple through an ecosystem. Further into the high Alps, Lac Léoson earns its nickname Little Canada of Switzerland. This turquoise lake sits in an untouched valley, fed by glacier melt and alpine streams. Surrounded by meadows bursting with summer wildflowers, and blanketed with snow in winter. Léoson embodies raw, untamed beauty. Hiking paths wind around its edges, but a conservationist warns that increased foot traffic could erode fragile soils and disturb nesting birds. Here, nature's grandeur meets human responsibility. Enjoyment of wilderness comes with careful stewardship. Walking along Léoson's banks, one experiences the full sensory immersion. The cold spray of waterfalls from melting ice, the earthy scent of damp meadows, the distant cry of a golden eagle. These experiences are vital, connecting humans to the forces that have shaped the land for thousands of years. Every pebble underfoot, every ripple on the water, tells the story of glaciers, rock, and time. Switzerland's rivers, born from glaciers and mountain springs, traverse alpine valleys, shaping landscapes and human settlements alike. The Ari, Rhone, Reuss, and Ticino rivers polish boulders into intricate patterns, nourish floodplains, and sustain diverse species. Walking alongside the Reuss, A hydrologist explains how seasonal flows affect fish migration and floodplain health. Each bend in the river presents a delicate balance: too little water, and fish struggle; too much, and villages risk inundation. Human engineering, careful dam placement, flood management, and conservation efforts works in tandem with natural rhythms. The rivers also animate waterfalls, where snowmelt transforms streams into spectacular cascades. Waterfalls like Reichenbach, Engstligen, and Faraglio are more than visual marvel. They are engines of ecological renewal. Mist nourishes mosses and ferns. Pools serve as habitats for fish and amphibians, and the sound itself resonates like a heartbeat of the mountains. Kayakers and hikers alike experience both awe and caution, reminded that water is a force to be respected, not tamed. The pristine beauty of Switzerland's lakes and rivers belies the tensions inherent in human use. Tourism brings income, but also challenges. Crowded shores can damage delicate vegetation. Boats can introduce invasive species, and fishing pressures must be carefully managed. Conservationists work alongside communities to mitigate these impacts. Beavers, once extinct, have been reintroduced successfully. Their dam building creates wetlands that enhance biodiversity, but can flood farmland, sparking debates between ecological restoration and agricultural interests. Similarly, climate change alters the flow of rivers and the timing of snowmelt, affecting both ecosystems and human livelihoods. Farmers along the Ticino adjust irrigation schedules. Municipalities monitor flood risks, and hydropower operators adapt to unpredictable water volumes. Every decision reflects the ongoing negotiation between human needs and the imperatives of nature. For a visitor, Switzerland's rivers and lakes are immersive classrooms. One can feel the icy current of a stream, listen to frogs calling at dusk, smell wild mint along a lakeshore, or watch fish leap against the river's flow. Each sensory encounter reinforces the narrative of balance and interdependence. Humans thrive when they respect the rules of water. And nature flourishes when it is treated as a partner, rather than a resource to dominate. A local guide often reminds travelers, when you touch this water, remember it has flowed here for thousands of years, shaping valleys, supporting life, teaching patience. Walk carefully, take only memories, and leave the balance intact. It is a lesson as old as the glaciers themselves. Resilience emerges not from control, but from harmony. Together, Switzerland's lakes and rivers create a complex, interdependent system linking high alpine peaks to valleys, towns, and people. From the grand glacial lakes of the Bernese Alps to hidden pools like Blausee, Lieusaint, and Lauenense, each body of water tells a story of geological time, ecological interaction, and human stewardship. Water is not merely scenery. It is life, history, and memory flowing across the land. By observing, participating, and protecting these waterways, humans learn lessons in patience, cooperation, and resilience. Lakes and rivers mirror the challenges of existence. They nurture, they renew, and they demand respect. Here, one sees vividly that survival and flourishing require attentiveness, adaptation, and partnership principles that guide not just human society, but the entirety of Switzerland's wild and cultivated landscapes. Switzerland's cultural identity is a tapestry woven from centuries of geography, history, and human ingenuity. It is a culture inseparable from the land where mountains, rivers, and valleys do not simply provide scenery, but actively shape daily life, traditions, and values. Here, culture emerges from the delicate dance between human adaptation and the natural environment, a coexistence that has been refined over millennia. The Alps, the Jura Mountains, and the rolling valleys are not mere backdrops. They are silent teachers, shaping the skills, habits, and creativity of the people who live among them. A shepherd navigating steep alpine slopes. A cheesemaker stirring curds over a wood fire. A beekeeper tending hives in high-altitude meadows. All demonstrate the intimate interplay between human culture and the natural world. Switzerland's multilingualism reflects centuries of adaptation to its complex terrain. German, French, Italian, and Romansh are not merely tools for communication. They are living expressions of local identity and environmental interaction. Each linguistic region nurtures its own traditions, stories, and practical knowledge. Walking through a village in Graubünden, one might hear an elder recounting a legend in Romansh, while guiding a visitor to the pastures where goats graze on steep slopes. The words carry not only cultural meaning, but ecological knowledge, which herbs the animals prefer, which paths are safest after a spring thaw, and when the alpine flowers bloom. Language here is a repository of survival wisdom, preserving both human memory and natural cycles. In the urban heart of Zurich or Geneva, the multilingual environment persists, but takes on a new dimension. Signs, newspapers, and markets reflect a practical coexistence of languages, reminding residents and visitors alike that diversity is an essential part of Swiss identity. Even in cities, cultural practices remain tied to the natural rhythm of the land. Farmers' markets bring alpine cheeses and seasonal vegetables into urban spaces, connecting city life to mountain cycles. Food in Switzerland embodies both survival and artistry. Traditional dishes, such as fondue or raclette, originated as solutions to harsh alpine winters, where stretching limited resources was essential. Visiting a mountain dairy in Valais, one can smell the rich aroma of fresh milk curdling. Watch a farmer gently stir the curds over a wood fire, and hear the rhythmic scrape of cheese being shaped. Every action carries historical knowledge: how long to stir, the precise temperature, and even the direction of the wind that may influence drying. The sensory experience of Swiss cuisine is inseparable from the land. Alpine herbs flavor cheeses. Wildflowers and fresh spring water permeate local honey. And the tang of yogurt reflects the minerals of mountain pastures. Seasonal festivals such as the Alpine Cheese Festival celebrate both human skill and the natural environment. Cows parade down from summer pastures, their bells echoing across valleys, and the air is filled with the scent of hay, baked bread, and roasting sausages. Visitors who taste these foods are tasting the Alps themselves, experiencing centuries of adaptation and coexistence with nature. Swiss precision and innovation are rooted in necessity. The careful construction of chalets on steep slopes, the maintenance of terraced vineyards, and the navigation of rocky paths all demand patience, observation, and skill. These values carry naturally into craftsmanship and technology. Watchmakers in Geneva explain that the precision required in horology mirrors the meticulous care needed to tend livestock or manage mountain irrigation systems. Even in cities, the ethos of alpine craftsmanship persists. Trains run on exact schedules. Bridges are engineered to endure seasonal floods. And local artisans employ centuries-old techniques while innovating sustainably. Across Switzerland, human culture is a continuous dialogue with the land. Adaptation, ingenuity, and respect are the underlying principles. Seasonal festivals are both cultural celebrations and acknowledgments of natural cycles. In the Engadine Valley, Chalandamars marks the arrival of spring with parades, singing, and bell ringing that announce the renewal of life. In Ticino, Ramadan transforms towns into vibrant carnivals, blending history, music, and communal creativity. Participating in these events engages all senses: the chill of morning air, the warmth of open fires, the fragrance of baked goods and roasted meats, the rhythmic clatter of wooden shoes on cobblestones. Festivals often highlight tensions between tradition and modernity, as tourism introduces new perspectives, sometimes altering rituals. Yet, these interactions underscore a central theme. Swiss cultural identity is a living negotiation between people, place, and environment. Swiss culture demonstrates an extraordinary interdependence with the natural world. Traditional alpine farming practices, rotational grazing, transhumance of livestock, and careful forestry management maintain ecological balance while sustaining human communities. A shepherd in the Alps explains how seasonal grazing prevents soil erosion, encourages plant diversity, and maintains the health of pastures for future generations. Beekeepers maintain hives and meadows, supporting pollination for crops and wildflowers alike. Conflicts emerge where ecological restoration meets human interests. The return of wolves, for example, has sparked debate. Conservationists emphasize ecosystem balance, while some farmers fear livestock losses. These tensions are not merely political. They are reflections of the ongoing negotiation between cultural survival and environmental stewardship. In Switzerland, identity is forged through such balances, a society continually adapting to maintain harmony with its surroundings. Everyday Swiss life is a testament to balance. Mornings in alpine villages begin with mist clinging to hillsides, families tending gardens, children walking narrow paths to school, and elders collecting herbs from meadows. The sounds, smells, and textures of these routines are inseparable from the landscape. The crunch of frost underfoot, the scent of pine resin, and the taste of fresh mountain water remind residents that culture is inseparable from place. Even urban dwellers engage with these rhythms. Weekend hikes, visits to lakes and forests, and trips to farmers' markets reinforce human-nature connections. Swiss cultural identity is, at its core, the constant practice of living in step with the environment. Observation, patience, and respect inform both work and leisure. Exploring Switzerland is an education in balance. The nation demonstrates the delicate equilibrium between humans and nature, tradition and innovation, diversity and unity. Across the Alps, forests, rivers, and lakes, one observes species finely tuned to survive extreme conditions, from marmots hibernating for months to alpine ibex navigating sheer cliffs. Similarly, human communities have learned to live in synchrony with these rhythms, developing architectural, social, and cultural systems perfectly adapted to their environment. Switzerland's story is also one of interdependence. The return of wolves, the careful reintroduction of lynx, and the recovery of beavers illustrate how ecosystems, once disrupted, can be restored through patience, observation, and intervention. People, too, thrive when collaboration replaces competition, and the federal structure ensures that local voices inform national decisions. There is a profound symmetry, just as rivers carve valleys, shaping every contour over centuries. Human ingenuity shapes society while respecting the natural framework. Yet the Swiss experience is not immune to modern challenges. Climate change accelerates glacier melt, threatens alpine flora and fauna, and shifts seasonal cycles that local communities have relied upon for centuries. Even so, Switzerland offers lessons in adaptability. Farmers adjust planting schedules, conservationists restore wetlands, Architects and engineers design infrastructure that respects natural forces rather than opposing them. Each adaptation echoes a broader principle: survival and flourishing require observation, patience, and creative response. Ultimately, Switzerland teaches that resilience is multidimensional. It emerges from respecting natural limits while leveraging human ingenuity, from honoring cultural traditions while embracing innovation, and from cultivating both individuality and collective responsibility. In this small but remarkable country, mountains, rivers, forests, and lakes are not merely scenery, they are teachers. Human culture, too, acts as both mirror and steward, showing how life can persist and thrive even in harsh and dynamic environments. Switzerland, with its pristine landscapes, carefully preserved ecosystems, and multifaceted human culture, stands as a reminder that survival and beauty are inseparable. The nation embodies an ongoing dialogue between all living systems, teaching us that adaptability, cooperation, and reverence for nature are not luxuries, they are necessities. It is here, in the interplay of ice and water, stone and forest, human and wild, that the lessons of endurance, resilience, and balance are most vividly written. Switzerland embodies a rare harmony between people and the natural world. Towering Alps, glassy lakes, and deep forests are not just scenery, but forces that shape culture, craft, and daily life. From cheesemaking in remote villages to careful stewardship of fragile ecosystems, the Swiss show how tradition and innovation can coexist with nature's rhythm. As glaciers shift and landscapes evolve, this balance endures, a living reminder that true resilience lies in partnership with the earth.